The U.S. Army, a symbol of strength, valor, and unwavering defense of freedom. Or is it? Behind the polished facade of military might lies a labyrinth of shadows where secret operations and clandestine agendas thrive. What are the true motives behind America's military interventions? Who benefits from perpetual war? This essay delves into the murky depths of the U.S. Army's clandestine activities. We will examine documented evidence, declassified files, and testimonies from credible whistleblowers. Our journey will take us from the battlefields of Vietnam to the deserts of Iraq, exposing the hidden truths behind America's wars. The aim is not to vilify, but to shed light on the uncomfortable realities that shape our world. Understanding the true nature of the U.S. Army's involvement in global conflicts is not merely an academic exercise. It is about holding power accountable and questioning the narratives we are fed. Let us begin by peeling back the layers of secrecy, carefully examining the facts, and confronting the uncomfortable truths that challenge our perception of the U.S. Army. The history of the U.S. Army is replete with covert operations, often conducted with little or no oversight. From the clandestine overthrow of democratically elected governments to the training and arming of rebel groups, these actions have had a profound impact on global politics. One of the most well-known examples is Operation Ajax, the CIA-orchestrated coup in Iran in 1953. This operation led to the overthrow of Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh and the installation of the Shah, a brutal dictator who ruled for decades. Another striking example is Operation Condor, a U.S.-backed campaign of political repression and state terror in South America during the 1970s and 1980s. The Vietnam War offers a chilling glimpse into the brutality of clandestine warfare, with the Phoenix program targeting suspected Viet Cong members and sympathizers. The lack of transparency and accountability surrounding these operations raises serious questions about the nature of democracy and the rule of law. The realm of conspiracy theories is often dismissed as the domain of the paranoid and the delusional. However, some conspiracies, once thought to be far-fetched, have been confirmed by credible evidence. One such case is the My Lai massacre, a horrific event that occurred in March 1968. U.S. Army soldiers systematically killed hundreds of unarmed Vietnamese civilians, including women, children, and elderly. The massacre at My Lai was initially covered up by the U.S. Army, but the truth eventually emerged thanks to the bravery of whistleblowers. Another example is the Iran-Contra affair, a political scandal that emerged in 1985, revealing the depths of deceit and lawlessness within the Reagan administration. The scandal had a lasting impact on American politics, eroding public trust in government and raising serious questions about the accountability of elected officials. Section 4. The Military-Industrial Complex, a driving force. To understand the true agenda of the U.S. Army, one must examine the powerful forces that shape its actions. The military-industrial complex, a term coined by President Dwight D. Eisenhower, refers to the intricate web of relationships and interests between the defense industry, the military, and the government. This complex exerts significant influence over U.S. foreign policy, often pushing for military solutions to international problems. The defense industry, with its vast resources and lobbying power, plays a key role in perpetuating this cycle of militarization. These corporations, driven by profit, have a vested interest in maintaining a state of perpetual war or the threat of war. The revolving door between the Pentagon and defense contractors further strengthens this unholy alliance, creating a system where corporate profits take precedence over national security. The influence of the military-industrial complex can be seen in the ever-increasing defense budget. Despite facing pressing domestic needs, the United States continues to spend more on its military than any other country in the world. Breaking free from the grip of this powerful complex requires a fundamental shift in priorities, one that prioritizes diplomacy, international cooperation, and peaceful conflict resolution over militarism and war. Section 5. The Fog of War Propaganda and Public Perception. Warfare in the 21st century is as much about shaping perceptions as it is about military victories on the battlefield. The U.S. Army, like all modern militaries, understands the importance of propaganda in controlling the narrative and garnering public support for its actions. From embedded journalists to carefully crafted press releases, the military goes to great lengths to manage the flow of information and present its actions in a favorable light. The media, often complicit in this propaganda machine, plays a crucial role in shaping public opinion. News organizations, reliant on access to military sources and often lacking the resources for independent verification, frequently parrot the official line, even when it is demonstrably false. Breaking through this fog requires critical thinking, independent media, and a healthy skepticism of official narratives. Section 6. The price of secrecy, erosion of trust. The U.S. Army's penchant for secrecy comes at a steep price. The erosion of public trust, a cornerstone of any functioning democracy, is perhaps the most dangerous consequence of operating in the shadows. The classification of documents, often used to shield embarrassing or incriminating information from public scrutiny, has become a tool for evading accountability. Whistleblowers, individuals who risk their careers and reputations to expose wrongdoing, play a vital role in holding power accountable. Yet they are often treated as traitors, subjected to harassment, prosecution, and even imprisonment. Rebuilding trust requires transparency, accountability, and a willingness to engage in open and honest dialogue. Section 7. Conclusion. Seeking transparency and accountability. Our exploration of the U.S. Army's hidden agendas has revealed a troubling pattern of secrecy, deception, and a disregard for the rule of law. From covert operations to confirmed conspiracies, the evidence suggests that the true motives behind America's wars are often far more complex and less noble than we are led to believe. The influence of the military-industrial complex, the manipulation of public perception through propaganda, and the erosion of trust caused by excessive secrecy all point to a systemic problem within the U.S. military establishment. Moving forward requires a commitment to transparency, accountability, and a fundamental shift in priorities. The U.S. must break free from the grip of the military-industrial complex and embrace a foreign policy rooted in diplomacy, international cooperation, and a genuine respect for human rights. Only then can we hope to create a more just and peaceful world.